Do you know about the extended state DMT experiments they're doing?
That's the IV drip.
Yep.
And I told Joe on that show 4 years ago, about 6 months before it came out, and they broke the news because I pushed them to do it. That
it's not a corporate party though; it's a university.
It's university. Well, I mean, I knew because my mom knew people that were doing it in the 70s and 80s with the CIA in San Francisco at this big university group.
You know. I guess.
I said that on Joe's show before it ever came out.
Yeah.
And I was a kid. My parents were involved in that. They had friends that were research scientists, and they were talking about. One time I was asleep in the back of the Volkswagen when my mom, with her friend, was driving up to Arkansas to travel around and see some cool places. And I'm sitting there in the back of the car listening to this, talking about how they're having groups of people take this, having the same experience going into these dimensions, talking to these aliens. They believe they're aliens, but that they're sneaky, they lie, they're basically demons. They're like clockwork elves. So I'm sitting in the back of the car hearing my mom drive along with somebody who's, they're talking in front of them. I'm 6, 7, 8, 9 years old repeatedly. And so these are research scientists in San Francisco in a university study, at the Psychedelic Research Institute or whatever it's called. I'm going back from memory. And then it's actually people on different hallucinogenic drips, long-term going in, like mapping everything and then coming out of it, writing it all down what they saw, then going back, trying to communicate. And the things always say, we want you to kill children.
Why? That's like that's where you lose me, right? It's like the weirdest thing.
No, I mean, that's
like it starts off with this amazing, fantastic journey of like through the back in the war. You go through the back of the. Imagine this.
Why do you think Joseph Mengele did it? Why do you think?
Okay, hold on. Like, let me.
What do you think these people are into?
There's a story about several children.
Sauron doesn't want gold; he wants children's blood.
Let me tell you a story. A bunch of children are playing hide and seek in their family home as their parents are out and about working. When one of the young children goes to open the wardrobe to go and hide, but behind in the back of the wardrobe there is no wall.
Narnia.
And they stumble into this amazing winter wonderland where a giant lion rises up and says, "Bring me the blood of children." See, that's where you lose me.
Well, no, they want the blood of the lion in that story. But
I know. It's like you start off with this fantastic journey. It's like they want to meet the interdimensional.
Listen, you asked for the proof. Every culture builds pyramids and starts cutting children's hearts out.
Everyone.
Almost every culture. The Druids, the Africa's done it. The point is,
in Europe they did it.
All over the Druids. Mm-hmm. Whether it was Scotland, Ireland, what's England today, Germany, the Visigoths, what's Switzerland today. There's huge mounds and pyramids. They're in China, everywhere.
They did it in Asia?
And they dig into them, and it's children with their hearts cut out.
In Asia too?
Yeah. They stopped doing that as much about 5,000 years ago. But they did it first. But the whole point is they always take hallucinogens, and then they put a string with obsidian through their tongue, and then just go, and then cut their genitals off. Well, that's the highest level for the Aztec priests and others. And finally, then they just commit suicide to the god while they're on drugs.
So what's really difficult is when you're like, Fauci's name means sickle, and then we look it up and it's true, but then you say that.
Most cultures finally decline. That priest
Phil's
class,
just laughing.
I love this.
The priest class finally killed themselves. Look up the Aztecs drawing ropes with glass through their genitals.
I'm not going to look that up.
And that's volcanic glass, in case anyone's wondering.
I would recommend you don't look it up.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling
right
that
now.
No, it's not important. You'll be at the Madrid Museum of Natural History, where they have a whole area of it. And they have carvings that are 500 years old brought back from there of jumbo jets with the windows on it and the 2 engines.
I've got this feeling that the energy source doesn't want us to do anything. It's just there, and it's passing through this imperfect filter of the human body where we need to eat, we need to destroy to consume to survive. So it's got this taint, and a lot of really powerful people are using. It's like their own warped perception of what they think it's.
Humans could be projecting because it only hits our lower brain that what it wants us to do is eat children.
So going back to Stargate, right? There's an episode where it's Richard Dean Anderson, by the way, great actor. He accidentally gets hooked into very quickly an ancient knowledge repository, which begins downloading all of the ancient information to his brain. But his brain is primitive and can't handle it, so it starts erasing his cognitive functions, and then he slowly can't talk, and just kind of like what you guys were saying. You get this energy from this all-powerful or interdimensional higher being. Our brains can't handle that stuff.
And it makes you chop your genitals off.
Okay.
And that's actually no. It also doesn't just say kill kids. It tells men chop your genitals off. That's a transmission you get. And then they do a final ritual where they don't just draw strings with their tongue or cut their ears off. Then they gouge their eyeballs out and then slit their throat.
But so you're looking back at this.
The highest level ritual for the high priest is to finally kill themselves. That's why you had some Roman emperors that killed themselves and stuff, and they'd already burned down the city.
You know, I would get into these deep meditative trances in like 2012, 13, and I was hearing, I thought it was God, like, and I would hear like, die, and I was like, what is this voice? It's like this human. It's like it's vibrating in our atmosphere, and it's like the collective consciousness is being filtered into words.
And they're telling us kill ourselves. That's why Klaus Schwab goes, you will soon be very angry. What we have done is for the earth. Soon they will be angry. And they go, we're all just going to rise up and kill each other. They also tell us...
Okay, well, hold on. Schwab is definitely creepy, and he's probably a Bond villain. I've meditated a fairly decent amount, and I have never heard a voice in my head tell me to kill
myself. It only
myself.
happened between 2011 and 2012.
Please.
So I'm telling you, it was a very specific period of history where everything was changing. 2011, and it must have been a collective like
that is the least mindful thing that I could imagine.
I wasn't
experiencing when I'm trying to be mindful.
Do you remember the Kingsman though that came out where the billionaire is going to send a signal through their phones to make you kill yourself?
The movie, yeah.
And that's basically what the Great Reset is, to get us to hate each other.
I don't think that's it.
Pull up Klaus Schwab says, we're going to have a very angry time. Everyone's going to be very angry, but we will fix it soon with Great Reset, which is they're doing it all
right.
to overthrow, to cause a revolution.
That sounds very Russian.
I don't have trouble doing German, but he's German, Belgian. He has a mixed accent.
He's creepy.
He's
definitely
but hold on.
The Great Reset.
I wonder if you take it.
Yeah, the Great Reset never ends. It is a
place.
cut, and once the cut happens, you'll never go back to normal.
Your face looked like him for a
that?
second from over here.
I wonder if you
vampire
here's
bat.
let's try and everyone we'll do.
He looks like Nosferatu.
Deep breath.
Pull up Nosferatu.
Deep breaths.
All right, deep breath. All right, Phil, keep breathing.
So here I'll tell you what I've said about you in the past. That
I said I was going to be calm.
You said you were going to be calm.
Come on, man.
Watch this.
Okay.
There we go. Oh yeah.
You find a story, and sometimes you'll take this point of truth and stretch it too much. So like the Great Reset stuff.
No, there are temples worldwide where everybody murders children and women and finally cuts their genitals off.
Where's the proof of that?
I mean, it's everywhere in every anthropological and archaeological.
No. I understand in ancient traditions and stuff like that. We
and
certainly
the globalists are obsessed with it now. I mean, the National Satan group came out and said killing babies is our sacrament. We do it as a ritual.
Well, hold on. They're talking about abortion.
Yeah, to claim First Amendment religious rights to get around it, like Hopi's taking peyote, but no, they really mean it.
But hold on, that's what I'm saying about you taking a morsel of truth and stretching it. There's a big difference between a clearly political group using Satan because it offends Christians, and then trying to use that to and it's also a religious symbol.
But I've seen their movie Hell Satan. By the end, it's really Satanism.
But these people, the Satan group, specifically say they don't believe in Satan, they don't believe in religion, they don't believe in any supernatural entities, and they're doing it.
No, I know, and so did Anton LaVey, and believe me, they believed in all that.
The Church of Satan is definitely just like edgelords. That's really what they are. They're just like, okay,
well, it's not the Church of Satan. It's the other group that's really political, the Democrats.
It's a satanic temple.
Yeah.
Satan is
they're the ones
I follow
who are
them on
doing
Twitter,
the
right? The
stuff.
ones that were just talking about the.
I have my lawyer,
stuff.
Mark Randazzo, I think represents them. The point is, that's okay. They get their First Amendment, I get mine. But believe me, I've taken one look at those people and seen their movie, and the other like, yeah, we just do this. We think it's cool. It's all destructive. They're all very weak. They're seeking after power of this world.
But so I look at this group, and you look at their core principles, and how much you want to bet I'll read their principles so you'd agree with them.
No, I know it's human empowerment and all this other stuff, and
autonomy, individual rights,
but they support the Democratic Party, which ain't happening.
Right, exactly.
And they'll use the one freedom is your body, but we want you to have forced inoculations, and we don't believe Alex Jones should have free speech. Ask him.
So I look at the.
Because they called my lawyer up and told him we don't want you to represent Alex Jones, or we're going to kick you. Fire. They said fine.
They're
the Satanic Temple did.
Yeah, I think that was the group. Yeah.
The Satanic Temple people called your lawyer, or what?
Yeah, my lawyer represents the biggest Satan group in America. I mean, one of my lawyers. I got a lot of lawyers, but he's one of the top First Amendment lawyers. So you're going to support people. You got to support them.
Right.
And so the issue is, it's like people representing Larry Flint. I don't like a lot of stuff Larry Flint did, but he published 2 of my articles that I wrote about 9/11 being an inside job, in Hustler. So, I don't agree with the whole sex trade and all that kind of stuff, but I'll get my stuff published where I can. Just like people should come on here. It's a venue to talk to millions of people. What the hell is it? Oh, who's there? Who's it going to be on? A bunch of self-righteous, sanctimonious idiots. The left today are actually the oppressors of information. They're actually the people with their orthodoxy, covering up the horrible, evil megacorporations they run. They're totally cold-blooded, and again, run slave camps all over the world. We can name all their names if they want to fact check.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.